14th Flying Training Wing Commander, Colonel Doug Gosley, and his wife Beth. The 14th Flying Training Wing Vice Commander, Colonel Bill Denham. I'm going to have to do that frequently throughout the evening. The 14th Flying Training Wing Command Chief, Master Sergeant, Chief Master Sergeant Jonathan Hover, and his wife Christy. Representing the 14th Operations Group Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Sullivan and his wife Jennifer. The 14th Mission Support Group Commander, Colonel Anthony Sansano. The 14th Medical Group Commander, Colonel Guy Mikowski, and his wife, Colonel Gemini Mikowski. And Columbus Air Force Base Wingman, Mr. Lynn Robinson. We are pleased to welcome all of the commanders and chiefs present. Finally, we would like to Alright, that's enough. Finally, we would like to welcome all visiting family and friends. Class 1801 is fortunate to enjoy the support of local community and business leaders during their time here in pilot training. Class 1801's pilot partners are First Baptist Hospital and Bob's Paint and Auto Body. Alright, before we introduce the class, they have a short video.
Take a step back to
And now, the time we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Class 1801! We would not be here today if it were not for the sacrifices of countless aviators who came before us. Class 1801 would like to recognize one of those aviators tonight. 1801's drop night was brought to you graciously by a long line of professional aviators, bold leaders, and exemplary officers. Regarded as the father of the United States Air Force, Billy Mitchell brought air superiority to the forefront. He believed that bombers should take the place of battleships and the Air Corps should be its own service. He once said, "Nothing can stop the attack of aircraft except other aircraft." At the Battle of St. Mihiel, Mitchell commanded 1,481 American and Allied airplanes. There he demonstrated what air power could do by massing an assault that sent wave after wave of planes to attack the Germans across battle lines, destroying their ground power. His strategy proved to be successful. Mitchell was the first American Army aviator to cross enemy lines and was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for valor. Please join me in celebrating the honorable heritage that this class will soon become a part of. Alright, listen up for tonight's ROAs. Report in a military fashion. Take your roast like an adult. Give a firm handshake and a crisp salute. Celebrate with your class and loved ones. And as always, no whining, arguing, or quibbling. And people in the back, if I hear you talking, I will find you. That's it. Guys, I found him. Lieutenant Hall's here. It wasn't very easy finding him. He went into exile after he saw his Checkride scores. It took a while, but I eventually convinced him to come back. You want to know how I did it? I convinced him he wasn't getting drones. Oops, I lied. Lieutenant Hall has been known to seemingly disappear for weeks at a time. Maybe he's headed down to Florida, sailing around the sea, or maybe he's locking himself in his house reading a good book. One thing we can make certain is he's not off studying. Your classmates have described you as a quintessential millennial, glued to your phone at all times. What are you doing on it, Zach? You playing some Candy Crush? You texting merrily? We've already established you probably aren't preparing for your next UPT-related event. If it weren't for Lieutenant Kistler, we'd actually be impressed with how many EPQs you've underperformed. Yes! So, Lieutenant Hall, in what aircraft will you be shadowing your colleagues in next? wondered why Lieutenant Schmitz has carried around such a large lunchbox. Apparently, it's to carry around all the dead birds he's hit while he's flying.
Yes! Yes!
While it's unconfirmed, we're confident when saying Lieutenant Schmitz has killed more birds during his time at Columbus than any UPT student before him. Being the firearm enthusiast he is, none of us were surprised when we learned he has a better hunting record with the T1 than any of his weapons. When asked about hitting birds, Lieutenant Schmitz said, now thank goodness his wife Tiffany is always present to translate for him. What translation was, yeah. Profound. He has a really good way with words. Now speaking of Tiffany, Lieutenant Schmitz was once memorably asked if he did anything over the weekend. He replied, no, not really. A classmate then responded for him, he got married. In what gas hauling, circle flying airframe will you be taking extra override points for hitting birds in next?
Yes!
Go, container!
Hey, your lunchbox!
In case you haven't noticed, Lieutenant Hosokawa is one of our Japanese brethren, and English is not his strong suit. But this bright, young, budding pilot, the future of Japanese aviation, won't let some small objective like clear, concise, and correct comm get in his way. Hosokawa must own the sky. Hosokawa must bring honor to his name. In attempting this, Lieutenant Hosokawa decided to hijack Austin International Airport one day while holding short to take off on his cross country. He decided, in his infinite wisdom, it would be a good idea to go out the door with the call sign Austin 1. His logic, and I quote here, I will be the mayor of Austin. Unfortunately, he speaks less good English. And deciphering the various other imposter Austin call signs, like Austin Tower, Austin Approach, Austin Clearance, Austin Ground, he found it to be much more difficult than anticipated. He responded to every Austin call sign on the radio. From the tapes. I kid you not. Austin Tower, Delta 572, final approach fix for the full stop, 17 right. Delta 572. Austin 1, I fear you to rain. After causing the airport to temporarily close down both runways due to a phantom controller causing 3 straight runway incursions, the mighty Hosokawa proceeded back to Columbus blissfully for patents. Ask him anything to debrief, and the answer will most surely be, oh, yes sir. Yes sir. He might even claim to have passed that ride. Which Japanese bird will Lieutenant Hosokawa be controlling the skies in next in complete and utter chaos?
Excellent storytelling. Get him up. 10 out of 10.
Loving it, loving it.
We need a beer win.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay back here.
Tricky Ricky.
Yeah.
How much was your Uber fare to get here?
Yes.
Do we even have Uber here? No? Okay. So you must have gotten here by bumming another ride from Lieutenant Fisher, like usual. Lieutenant Acosta's relationship with cars is a complicated one. It's not uncommon to find Ricky sitting in the Stooge parking lot at 0500, revving his car to 6,000 RPM before shutting it down. That battery isn't going to charge itself. I mean, on most cars it will, but not on Tricky Ricky's. Ricky's lack of consideration for his car can easily be translated to his lack of consideration for his back. During his annual trip to the gym, lacking a partner to transfer the bar to at the bottom of his squat, Lieutenant Acosta managed to pull a muscle in his back and denipped himself, slowing the speed of progress in the T1s to the speed of smell, which is about the speed he travels, talks, thinks, recognizes mistakes while flying, and about how fast he's going to taxi in his next airframe.
Yes.
So, what freaking ridiculous economic disaster will you be flying in next?
I've been waiting for this moment for a long time now. Lieutenant Byam thinks he is sly. So sly. He asks questions like, well, sir, do you even see the runway? Yes, dumbass. Through that cranium of yours, I can still see the runway which you are not circling towards. I have the aircraft, Lieutenant Byam. I have the aircraft. In his small, scheming think tank of a brain, Lieutenant Bynum believed he'd get extra points on his instrument Checkride for planning a slew of excess and completely unnecessary maneuvers. Unfortunately, he blew through every hard altitude, most step-down fixes, configured incorrectly, and failed to request clearance by going completely Gordo, pulling his own Concorde out in the chaos that was his front cockpit. You should have just declared an emergency for that helmet fire. Hoping to exact his revenge on those terrible 50th IPs that just don't see his genius, Lieutenant Bynum believed it was another of his good ideas to drive by a few IPs' houses late one night with his bros, a few of you idiots over here, shouting obscenities, maybe throwing things. Then he found himself face to face with his own flight commander because, as genius does, his getaway was directed to a cul-de-sac. To add insult to injury, as he's trying to hide his shame, his poor millennial bro, car of a ride just didn't roll up the windows because he has a manual. Which slow climbing, overly burdened, poorly performing jet, much like Lieutenant Bynum, will he be struggle busting his way through it next? Lieutenant Adair is awkward as hell. He is awkward as hell. We're all just good people hanging out doing this pilot training thing. That's what he thinks. Smiling big old fellow you. There's no sirs or ma'ams or rank or anything like that in his world. In his awkward, large, oblivious way, he walks right into Squadron scheduling office, sits down with the IPs, and just starts to chat. How about you and I go out and do this Outback tomorrow? I saw I'm with this Latka fellow. I just don't like him. Let's go ahead and switch that. Go on, throw yourself in that line. That'd be swell. Hey, Rhett. I'm also not much doing this Monday show time. Go ahead and check that for me. I'd like to come in for an afternoon flight. One goal for you. Casually shattering any student IP formality, he once got so relaxed during a straight-ahead rejoin, he smoothly asked that his screaming instructor, can you keep it down back there, big old pal? While performing a lag roll, not supposed to do that, rejoining himself squarely in the wrong position. This is 100% true. Lieutenant Adair once got ordered 6 times in a row on his cross-country leg to plan a high pen on the next flight. I know because I directly ordered him to do it 6 times. He argued with me incessantly before he realized it was not an amicable, two-way conversation we were having. So, which jet can Lieutenant Adair be neglecting good order and discipline while breaking down all levels of professional relationships in that?
You all think you're excited for some fighter jets? We got some C-17s, we got some KC-10s, we got some T-1 Fates coming. Alright, Lieutenant Night Shoe, aka Silver Fox, aka Poppy, aka Grandpa. Actually, you bring so much cake into the class, maybe we should start calling you Grandma. Are you older than your truck? Who are we kidding? We know you're significantly older than your 1968 Chevy. We all know, like your truck, there are no fixes to your problems, and subsequently a Taylor Swift song for your every mood. For instance, why are you always referring to our wind correction software as Winder? Sounds like you're getting it confused with your favorite dating app, Grindr. Too bad there isn't an app to help you pass Checkrides. It's also rather peculiar that you know every minute detail about the FAA's aviation regulations, but you are completely incapable of sitting down during shotgun questions. Honestly, since you haven't really done anything notable in pilot training, let's go back to your truck for a second. Why do you pretend to be so loyal to that thing anyways? We've all seen you at the park creeping with some candy in that white van. Alright, Grandpa, so in what aircraft will you be confusing your crew about your actual age in next?
Just a young girl. Wait, wanna be my own take the box, damn it, I gotta stop the fake though. I'm happy, I'm so happy. Give him the hat! Back on! Take it off! Take it off! My God, he looks good!
Shut up!
More!
Lieutenant Monin, is a walking train wreck of a man. Of a boy. Having the misfortune of hearing so many of his personal life stories, I often find myself thinking, and I quote him, "What you have just said is the most insanely idiotic thing I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you ever close to anything that could have been considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul." Much like Billy Madison, I find it hard to believe he's actually even made it here. This is amazing that he's on stage right now. He planned his instrument check ride into a hurricane. And not just any hurricane, Hurricane Harvey into Houston. And as long as he put in, there was going to be servicing on station. So that's good job. Well planned. This large, overgrown child of a man, having recently watched Talladega Nights, you know where this is going, don't you? Thought it a good technique to try only turning left on an entire sortie in the formation block as winning. Most of you don't get that, but you will know that. Being that his family paid for picture books and textbooks during his illustrious 6-year degree pursuing elementary education, he has often been found doodling during formal debriefs. Asking what notes he's taking, what in the world you could possibly be writing right now, he just starts to giggle. Friendly little kid. May God have mercy on your soul. Which jet will his... Oh no!
Alright, nobody will leave after this is over because Lieutenant Bonnie will be doing line-by-line rebuttals of her roast. It should only take an hour or so. She's not much of a talker. Can't have anyone leaving here thinking she's a bad pilot now. Now, Bonnie, it's ironic when you're an airline pilot with an instrument rating and you hook a T6 instrument test. Even Lieutenant Taylor passed that one. Maybe you would have done better in academics if you hadn't been planning your engagement all year. John, that's her fiance, everybody. Hey, John, did you know you were going to get engaged with Lieutenant Bonnie on Labor Day weekend? Because we did. Congrats, though. Really, we knew in February, and frankly, we're all impressed. Nikki, somehow you still found sufficient time to delegate your mission planning, wedding planning, studying, and most importantly, rock collecting. Despite your impressive 500 texts per minute and nightly group messages. So, Lieutenant Bam Bam Body, in which gas passer will you be blowing your colleagues' phones up with excuses as to why your landing sucked in next?
Where's your beer?
Where's your beer?
Kistler. So they included some stuff about you not ever going to class functions. But I just gotta put my foot down as a fellow father. This man is a father of 5. He is very busy. He deserves some respect. He drives a Dodge Stratus. Have you guys ever tried herding 5 children? I imagine it's not very different than herding 17 of you on cross country. Now, can anybody tell me why Lieutenant Kistler's accountability tracker always said he was at the gym? That's as believable as Lieutenant Hall saying he's in the squadron. Matt is always very often heard running around screaming, "Toot!" like he flies a lot of formation or something. Matt, you're the reason why the elbow pointers make fun of us. So thanks for that. The results are finally in. We now know that 2 was his most recent PT test score.
Should have been EPQ.
Reality joke, Lieutenant Kistler is going to take more than 2 trips to the gym per year to fix your score. We got 2 jokes tonight, folks. He single-handedly managed to take one for the team by not passing more than 2% of his EPQs.
Yes!
Giving Lieutenant Kistler's potency track record, he'll soon need more than 2 cars, and one of them will need to be the squadron's 15 packs van. So, Lieutenant Kistler, which aircraft will you be saying toot when you're actually leading next?
Just take it time.
Lieutenant Fisher, just shave it. Just shave it already. Just shave that crusty caterpillar off. It smells like sandwiches. And not the good kind. It smells like a Subway cold cut combo from the BX.
Oh.
I can't imagine how many crumbs are trapped in there. It doesn't belong on anyone's face. It belongs in the trash. It's not March. It's not November yet. You're not Tom Selleck. You're not Robin Olds. It's past the point of being ironic. Any attention you got from the ladies while you had that thing attached to your upper leg has only been for pity. But if you can look past the mustache, Jake really is a great guy, and a much better pilot than most of his class. But that's not very hard, though. Now, if it weren't for your flying ability, we're not sure you would have made it through pilot training, considering all you did during your time here was continue to live out your post-college career in Georgia. You had to make time for plenty of trips to the world's most overrated college town. By himself, of course, because who wants to drive 5 hours to an overrated college town when there are so many others nearby? So, Lieutenant Fisher, where will you be rocking the Cooper stash next? asked to be a secret Air Force drill agent in your class to see if you guys could handle being thrown into flights last minute and not break. She was designed to be as quiet and mysterious as possible and create chaos. Her mission was to frequently message the flight commander at 0430 informing him that she can't fly. Then the pandemonium would ensue. It was an exercise in class flexibility. Well, you guys made it. You were terrible, but you made it. I wish I could say the same for Lieutenant Manio. It was hard work creating chaos all the time. So her general knowledge, flying ability, and overall airmanship obviously suffered. So she'll be washing back to a 3rd class. But that's okay because her efforts had a secondary effect, advancing the timeline. The long-winded stand-ups with Lieutenant Manio, however, did not. We could sit here all night going over a single emergency scenario and still wouldn't be halfway through the analyzation portion. You guys are welcome for not making a body and Manio emergency scenario. We have to wash everybody back if that happens. So, in what airframe will Lieutenant Manio be creating chaos in next? Might be a little intimidated by an instrument-qualified, certified flight instructor, regional pilot with 2,000 plus hours. Good thing I'm not that fake. I got a better read on you when you lost that Golden Triangle hot dog eating contest. That belly is apparently just for show. Yes, I can eat 6 before I fly a 2-hour sortie, and don't forget, if you don't eat your free ice cream sandwich before you take off to land elsewhere, you'll never get to. Your nav check ride really spoke to me. Clear left? Yeah, it's clear. I'm just not sure you're clear. The approach. Don't worry about it. Everybody makes mistakes. You just make more than your IPs, but less than your fellow classmates. So, in which city that loses the backyard brawl to West Virginia?
Yeah!
Next. Lieutenant Woods, or should I say Mr. Long, welcome. Welcome to another class event you were forced to come to. Clearly, Lieutenant Woods' wife Hannah wears the pants in this relationship. And nobody really seems to know what Lieutenant Woods does on the weekends. The only valid excuse we can come up for is he's never showing up to social events because he's likely under force of chain and whip running the household chores. If you ever happen to wander into the 48 Snacko late on a Friday evening, you'll likely find Lieutenant Woods filling bags of uneaten popcorn to please his overlord. That being said, Hannah's tight leash on Lieutenant Woods is likely reasonable, as his one responsibility during his tenure during T6 is what to schedule a community service event. Without her proper supervision and tight ship, Lieutenant Woods failed to schedule the event, preventing his classmates from getting off formal release for an additional 4 weeks. So, Lieutenant Woods, which multi-engine popcorn-making community service aircraft will you be hibernating from your pals in next?
One more. Yes!
Lieutenant Taylor. Is your brother here? We have all kind of heard he's a big deal. A Penn State college wrestling superstar and future Olympian. And even an American hero, some would say. Let's completely forego any formalities about how this night is supposed to be about you and focus on him. No? Alright, fine. Let's talk about you. Much like your brother, you made history too, by being the first student to hook an 88 ride for not checking their smoke goggles. You didn't just not check them, you broke them, and then you still didn't check them. You're also the class body armor, one of 17 who actually wanted to fake. That really shouldn't be a problem then. I guess we can make that happen. Oh, you hooked a couple of daily rides? Oh, that's water under the bridge. Oh, you're on flag cap right now as we speak? That's water over the dam. Oh, you hooked your Checkride? I guess we still kind of like you enough to welcome you to the Mafia. You hooked your makeup ride for that smoke goggle thing? Jeez, you're such a bad pilot. At what point do we just point out the obvious fact that you aren't just a good pilot? Your brother wouldn't have hooked those rides. So, in what? In student training aircraft will you be staying in Columbus here longer?
I need to say
such as little, angry, sweaty. These three impressive qualities tend to make Austin very unapproachable, which is why I like to refer to him as Angry Elf. Behind his back, of course. I don't want him biting my ankles. Lieutenant Gauze, in what nonsensical backwoods hick world do you come from in which you have one crappy broken down truck and you decide to go buy a crappier, more broken down truck? Does it even have air conditioning? It doesn't. You know, actually this kind of makes sense. You and that truck have a lot in common. You called a project, your IPs called you a project. Yeah! It runs a little hot, you run a little hot. You often find your truck bed is empty, you often find your house bed is empty. At least when you go back home to South Carolina, you'll be able to fit in with the standard vehicle on cinder block collection that everybody has. And what stick-flown, autopiloting, cargo-toting piece of American engineering will you be reminding your loadmaster that you were once a loadmaster in next?
Hey, hold on one second. There's a couple cars that are on the near edge of being towed. A Honda Civic MS LBJ681, a Jeep Grand Cherokee, Colorado plates OB2934, Chevy MS5, LBH744, and a Subaru WRX, Illinois plates Q9599954. Go move your cars. Alright. Alright, Sergeant Savard, come on up here and get your assignment. Sorry. That was the wrong Savard. Lieutenant Savard's wife, Sergeant Holly Savard, works up at... Savard works up at Wayne Public Affairs, and I think the Wayne staff could vouch for me. We like her more. She actually does good work. Scott, she's everything you're not. She clearly set her a little harder than Scott's landings in T1. She's smart, she's tactful, she doesn't make weird faces at people, and she probably would be a better pilot. Now, I understand both of you were enlisted together. So, how did you guys determine who out of the Savard clan is going to be a pilot?
because it couldn't have been about intellect. Or also, who would be the most enjoyable in a crew? If I had to listen to Scott talk about Skyline Chili, or do the shoot, Dad, I think one more time I'm gonna lose it. You know, speaking of being bad at things, including flying, Scott is also bad at making sure his publications are current. At least he wasn't the first in the class to hook a Checkride for it. Pretty Fogel. But Scott, thank you. Thank you for helping me prove to the audience how bad your class truly was. So, in what community will we be wishing we chose the other Squadron next?
Lieutenant Sloan has never met a MOA he couldn't bust, a flight lead he couldn't go blind on, or a one-armed Asian lady he couldn't lose to. Let me explain. Shut up! The Echo MOA is half the state of Mississippi, and Lieutenant Sloan busted it twice! The second time was so bad that his wingman began squawking emergency to alert ATC to the impending disaster that is Lieutenant Sloan. Additionally, and only roughly speaking here, you'd like to remain visual on your flight lead during formation flights. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Sloan skipped this P mission and often just went dark visor down into the merge. Every time. It became almost reactionary after a GX. Two spline, 17,500. And now the one-armed Asian lady. This is 100% true. Lieutenant Sloan was almost a badminton champion. I can't make this stuff up. Down one show off the leg. Jing Hao Mei Huang, with her one good left arm, flicks a forehand to the back alley. He hustles to the baseline to clear a lobbing shot. But no! Jing Hao Mei Huang punishes his arrow with a fast, hard spike. Lieutenant Sloan makes one last long lunge, tearing his spandex onesie, jumpsuit, en route, and coming just short. Sadly, Lieutenant Sloan decides to hang up the jumpsuit that day, and retire all of his shuttlecocks, that's an official term, and hoping to escape, joins the United States Air Force. So which jet provides the visibility needed for this wide-flying, hard-charging badminton semi-pro?
Lieutenant Miller, how did you do so well at pilot training? Is it the fact that you have more time logged in your home flight simulator than the actual airplanes we flew here? Or is it that you use the Dash 1 as a pillow at night? Unfortunately for Lieutenant Miller, with all the sim time, your communications on the radio have somehow managed to become less coherent and more entertaining. Have you been chair flying with Lieutenant Perry? Maybe a few conversations with real human beings would bolster your communication skills. The fact that you once said, the flight information handbook is like a Reader's Digest, and I could just read it all day, only starts to highlight the unique personality you bring to the class. Maybe all this stemmed from your 4 years of sniffing fuel as a boom. Now, I'm going to go reverse first on this last part. 1801, if all of you were like Titan Miller, we wouldn't have hooked 13 check rides.
Yeah!
Boom, drop the mic, here's your assignment. Roll it!
That way. He knows it. He knows it.
Yes, it is. Get off the stage.
Lieutenant Turner is a bro still living in the summer. The bro that could be on a beach on a board somewhere. Every time you walk past Lieutenant Turner in the hall, he's got this cheesy, grinner, stoner face thing going on. His only essay that you're passing is when it goes directly by and looks up. Shut up! Oh, hey, sir. What's up? Every day, without fail. Much like that one time he saw traffic for the first time ever on his Instrument 2 check. Sir, I see them! I see them! I see them! Yeah, that's your job, bro. So chill, this guy. brings in a new cappuccino machine prior to an out and back instrument ride. 6 cappuccinos later, Lieutenant Turner has something to brewing in the cockpit. You know Lieutenant Turner is still living the SoCal days when a grown-ass man in an $8 million jet comes up with the best solutions for his self-imposed problem, and it's angling himself to position himself to relieve himself in a map case. Wait, no, his helmet bag, that's a better idea. Yeah, that's a better idea. No. He'll declare an emergency, go supersonic, and RTB rushing home. This image is seared in my brain. Lieutenant Turner jettisoning his equipment, wetting his flight suit, and running back to the squadron under duress like the days he was on a bad trip. Which sweet ride will this clueless bro be pursuing the endless wave of fun in next?
Lieutenant, I'm gonna do it. Lieutenant, Captain, Major, retired. You, with the loud mouth. After all this time at Columbus, you finally made it to drop night. Congratulations, Lieutenant Breyfogle. You have officially set the UPT record for washing back the most classes, yet still the furthest behind in each class. It's crazy to say, but by the time you leave Columbus, you'll have 8 years time in service. Your active duty classmates initially thought you were a threat to their drop, but after being the first to hold their first check ride for pups, you soon realized they overthought the subject matter more than Lieutenant Bonnie during shotgun questions.
Hey, somebody's gotta do it.
Now, you'd think after being in 3 classes, you'd know how to do a page count. At least something good has come from all your time here at Columbus, and you are able to form a real and sincere relationship with someone, Lieutenant Gauze's dog. Now, not so lucky with the ladies, huh? Well, you you've got 4 more years to figure it out. 4 more years! All right, give us a sign right now. All right. driving force and lowered expectations in pilot training, Lieutenant Perry. He says what he thinks and he doesn't think smart things. Even though he introduced himself as a very Manila person, Lieutenant Perry is the epitome of entertainment. We could fill a whole roast with simply quotes from his West Virginia educated mouth. He was once told he was flying with the Vice Wing Commander and to bring his A game. What is Lieutenant Perry's response, you ask? Direct and full of truth. That's all right. I'll have Lieutenant Woods fly first so I can bring my B game. Now, if what we saw on that flight was your B game, then what did we see on a normal basis? Oh, I know, your U game. Lieutenant Perry is a very giving person. Like how he always goes out of his way to offer others to provide simply for houses that are hundreds of feet apart. Fully once, shame on you. Fully twice, shame on me. Fully thrice, you might be Lieutenant Perry. We could go on for days, but unfortunately we got a timeline here, so the moment of truth, what aircraft will we be lowering the bar in next?
recipient with Mississippi license plates, Lima Victor Julia, LVJ 681. That's LVJ 681. If you call bingo, your ass is getting screwed. Alright, or a Jeep Grand Cherokee with Colorado plates, Oscar Delta Quebec 934. That's ODQ 934. A Chevy Traverse with Mississippi plates, Lima Victor Hotel 744, LVH 744. Lastly, Subaru WRX Illinois plates, Quebec 959894. You guys got to move your cars, they're going to get towed. Old bucket of goose. Lieutenant Evan Autry. Oh, poor Autry. Bless his heart. Things never quite went according to plan, Lieutenant Autry. Let's just open this sweet bottle of booze and start celebrating my morning dollar ride, says Lieutenant Autry. All is going according to plan, says Lieutenant Autry, until in walks his flight commander at noon, asking for any mouth breather to fill the third bill line, and points at Lieutenant Autry. Sure thing, sir, hold my beer. Sure thing, Lieutenant Autry, get your ass in blues. I guess his plan is just to account for this formal training program we call UPT. Lieutenant Autry thought it was a good idea to bring the remainder of his bag lunch one day out on his initial solo. The first time we decide he is equipped to take a jet out by himself, he brings a whole bag of snacks. All was going according to plan, says Lieutenant Autry, until the GX exploded his Coke can, frightening out his entire kindergartner lunch, baby carrots, pretzels, and Chef Boyardee alike, all across the cockpit. Who knew one stud could fly out a jet for 4 weeks? So misunderstood, Lieutenant Autry, so misunderstood. You should do that Hillary thing and write that book for no one to read and call it, What Happened? Which schoolhouse will be throwing off Lieutenant Autry's perfectly flawed plan, leading to a wake of broke jets and reprimanded lieutenants in next?
Hey man, I hate to break this to you, but being salty because your class has dubbed you is just the best way of saying you're a jerk. For the longest time, Lieutenant Chase has thought being salty was going to save the victim. Have you met some of our fates? They eat student souls for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Really, no one is sure why you're so eager to leave Columbus anyways. You and the local Starbucks have become codependent on one another, and you've managed to single-handedly sustain the business while you've been here. You know what? Let's keep this guy around longer. Get a second T1 favor, a third T6 favor. The Chamber of Commerce agrees he's good for business. Not to mention the daily Snapchats you send from the Audubon Cove pool with your nicely pedicured feet dangling in there. I mean, how basic can you get? How's that pumpkin spice latte in your stein over there? So, let's see where you'll be salting everybody around you in next. Lieutenant Emerson? I literally have no idea who that is. Are you a T1 stud? Yeah. We'll take it. No? You just don't belong here. Can I get the next lieutenant, please? I've never seen this guy before in my life. Well, I guess Lieutenant Emerson lays low. Really, really, really low. Like as low as he was on his final turn in that transition Checkride. You had one job, dude. Show us you could land. But no, you pulled straight into the stall in the final turn and still tried to land out of it. Well, that's one way to get remembered. Getting banished from touching the controls on your own Checkride. I'm still not sure you belong here. Oh wait, I remember, you're that one dude who strolls around the squadron with that walk. The saunter, as it's known. You're that dude. Yeah, I remember you now. Didn't you land in the grass trying to pass a formation landing? You're not going to get that taco back. Yeah, you're that failed solo dude who had to walk back out to the jet and apologize to the chief for arming up your system and yelling, "Too close for missiles, I'm going to guns!" Spoiler alert. Taco. Nicely done, Maverick. Nicely done. Which overpowered jet is this formation failing, green flag suit wearing, average looking white ass dude, who I'm not even sure actually belongs here, be rocking out 2 next?